Do you feel rested?
I don't know. I'm still waking up. Like my eyes look tiny.
No, they don't. They look great. I've had butthole eyes lately. It's been a thing I've been dealing with privately.
What are butthole eyes?
Like, you know how
what are butthole?
You know how people like don't get political. You guys relax. You know how we feel about him. I don't know what to say, but someone took Donald Trump's lips and they put him on his eyes, and he looked the same. Like you couldn't differentiate.
I think I've seen that.
And so I just call them like he's like the bags under, and then like my need of a blepharoplasty. So lately, I've just been feeling insecure about my eyes. I've just been seeing it worsen and worsen, and part of it is from my intermittent sleep, I think. But some days I wake up and I'm like, this is going to be a bad butthole eye episode. Welcome to Disrespectfully
with Katie Maloney
and Dana Kathan.
Unapologetically,
we're here to do what we want to do.
Spilling the tea.
Babe, you're going to see the power of women. Like,
disrespectfully.
I think you look great though. You're killing it.
Thanks. I just smudged some makeup on my face and did my mascara.
To look like you. Is that eyeliner from yesterday?
No. Oh, that takes 3. Whenever I'm wearing shadow on my eyes, that's when I have time. If I just wear this was 13 seconds on each eye.
Should we talk about the elephant in the room and the reason we're fighting?
Why are we fighting?
The photo.
Oh, I forgot about that. Right? Yeah. So
obviously when I say fighting, I'm joking, but I posted a funny, I did not notice anything weird about the photo. There was a cute photo of us and our friend Floor, and we
were in the pool.
We were in the pool. So the water distorts the lower half of the body.
There was like ripples and reflections in the water. I get it. But down where like, it looks like in my crotch area, it looks like there's like a snail or like a little snail penis on me. And I know it's water, but.
Okay, looking back when you guys sent me the photo, I was like, and it had already been up for a while. It's odd, but my eyes would never, I was like, oh, pool. I didn't like inspect. I don't normally inspect the genitals.
Just like right in that area. I don't know. It's the first thing I noticed. It like jumped out the photo of me.
Because when you texted me and you were like, send me the picture, I was like, oh, she wants to post it too. So I sent it to you. Why is it? Because you wanted to zoom in on it?
No. I hadn't seen it yet. I was like, oh, I don't know what I said. I'm like, I didn't get the picture. I didn't even seen it yet. And then I looked at it and immediately I was like, what the fuck is this?
Okay, well,
why do I have a snail dick?
There was no malintent on my part, but it did make me giggle because it goes back to the person that doesn't charm to everyone. And it was just, I was devastated because I would never want to, I make sure everyone looks good in the photos. I charmed all of us.
Okay, but the crotch.
Okay, well, from the shoulders up, amazing. 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Looked great.
Boobs look great.
They did.
Face was looking good. Don't know what happened down below.
Then we had a freak nectar brute accident.
Oh, yeah.
She opened a bottle of champagne. It was Moet. And is that how you say it?
Moet?
Yeah, Moet, right? Yeah, and it was like nectar. It said that in small font. And we all took a sip and immediately were like,
I mean, I didn't think it was terrible. But I could take like, maybe drink half a glass of it. Or maybe a full glass.
No, to me, it tasted like a Moscato with simple syrup in it.
Whoa.
I was just not,
it was sweet.
No, I hated it, but I'm really sensitive to that as being a lush.
You guys were really mad at that. But I was like, should I chuck this over the fence? I'm like, oh my God.
No,
what did it do to you?
I was so glad that she was not into it because being the lush that I am, I will drink anything, but I was not going to be happy about it. So I took a sip and was like fizz-faced. And then she was like, this is terrible. Oh my God, what is this? Anyway, so that's that on that. How are you doing other than that? What's new in your world?
What's new? I just saw you yesterday.
Okay, to the people listening did not see you yesterday.
Oh, what's new?
What are you talking about? We've done this.
I know.
This is our 24th episode, is it?
It's 24. Shh. I don't know what's new. I've been doing the same thing every day. I go to the sandwich shop, Slang Sammy's, and come home, watch TV, go to bed. I'm living a really exciting life right now.
I will. How about this? We need to make a vibrator correction from the last episode. So when we had our vibrator convo, you guys, we know that the settings that are intermittent are for edging. We know what edging is. Here's the thing. My point about it is the edging settings are violent. And yes, I know some of you might like to edge yourself, but we were talking about, I'm never in bed with myself and I'm like, I'm going to trick you. I'm going to tease you right now. I go there because I want to get this done in 15 seconds or less. I want to go to bed. So like, I personally am not one to edge myself, but you guys, you think
this is like maintenance. It's like taking a shower. It's like, you just got to do it, get in and get out.
Yeah.
But also when people are like, it's like for teasing, it's so fun. I'm like, we have very different styles. We're not doing the same thing.
Very different styles, yeah. But I'm like, do you think that me and one Katie Marie Maloney don't know what edging is? Please, let's be very fucking for real. You guys have been listening long enough to know.
What a weird game to play with yourself. Teasing and edging has to be like on someone else's.
Are you into it if someone else is participating, if it's not a solo show?
Yeah, it could be, but it's like, I'm also not really, I don't know. Depends on the person, for one. Depends on exactly what they're doing, two. And three, I don't know, there's just two.
Okay, good. I'm glad you corrected that.
I was trying to think if there's anything else. But no, I think there's a time and a place, but otherwise it's just kind of like.
Well, and the last person that tried doing that to me, it was like in a setting when I was really tired. I wanted to go to bed. And I was like, back in my day when I was still sexually active, I was like, it was late at night. I was exhausted. It made that very clear. And then he was trying to do that. I think I've like talked about some of this a little bit. He was like, you think I'm going to let you come yet? And I was like, oh, I'm tired. What are you? And also when you have to be with the right person, that certain language is like a ticking time bomb. And if you try to be Christian Grey and I'm not into that, and it's really the teasing to corny pipeline is thin and narrow. So like you have to be careful with that because it immediately off-puts me. But like, yeah, obviously in the right time and place, I'm really down for most things. So
I guess if somebody's just like really good at it, they're like really smooth about it. That's to the point where they're not trying to make a thing out of it. That would be fine.
Okay, so that's what it is. It's an element of swag. You can't tease if you don't have swag. If you are a cornball, this is never going to work. Please just let's get the show going. But yeah, I am always looking to just enjoy myself quickly. It is never something that I'm like trying to drag out, which is why I don't use my handle. So I'm like, let's be efficient about this whole thing.
Touche. I like
so
it.
anyway, I just wanted to make.
But also, yeah, all the people that were writing and saying, "I love the Morse code," just period. I'm like, are you a contrarian? Are you just trying to be different? Let me tell you. You also like when you're around a group of guys, you're probably like, I'm not like most girls. It's giving pick me vibes.
She takes one of their hats and won't give it back.
Yeah. Exactly.
She's that girl. She's like, Trevor.
She's like, I think it looks better on me. Trevor.
It's like I'm such a silly goose.
Yeah, I usually wear hats. I don't know why I didn't wear a hat today.
I love when you look like dad. When you're wearing a hat. Also, that's cute. Where's that from?
This?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Where is it from?
Oh, well, really quick shout out, Vintage Glorified Girl, who sent me this shirt, and she sent Katie mini shirts. We love her, and we love her stuff, so please go check her out if you want some cool distressed band tees.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to look like the Trevor girl, and you do really want to be different.
That's right.
I love them.
And what do we say when someone says, name 5 songs from the band of the shirt you're wearing?
Name 5 women that you've made come. Is that what you were going to say?
I didn't say new. Guys, I'm going to get it to you. I was going to say, no, name 5 women that trust you. That one.
Also,
watch them just struggle with that one.
Trust and orgasms, and it's like,
my mom. Women that you've met, not women that you've
come out of. Not women the birth canal is you've
not women that are forced to love you.
Yeah. No one that you've occupied their home for an amount of time. Home. You're so freaky today. Do we need a shot? I was thinking we haven't done that in a long time.
No, I'm not hungover. I'm just tired. I literally it takes me like 3 hours to wake up.
I know, but I was just thinking we've honestly been on this journey. It feels like a very long time ago, like that happened, and that since we started, even though it's not that long. Leia, will you go grab us a shot? I want to actually do a throwback because I was thinking about this today. Back when we were on the
iPhone goggle?
Apple Pro.
Oh yeah, whatever.
Did you see the very messy iOS 18 update?
I've been seeing clips, but is it messy? I saw the one about the math. That seemed okay. What else is happening? Tapbacks are getting more.
Why would algebra be the problem? No, please.
I don't know what part is messy because I've only seen clips where they're just like going over some features that are going to be part of the update, and none of it seems messy.
Oh, it is designed for men that cheat, for men that cheat. Please hold. iOS 18 features. Let's look at it. I'm going to pull up the list.
Like I like when it's like you can schedule text messages now. I'm like, oh great.
Nope. I will say one thing I like is, and it's kind of freaky, is the Apple Intelligence images. So you basically can make your own emojis. You just type into AI like something weird, and then it'll come up with it.
Oh.
So that's fun, I do think, and unique. Okay, the thing is, I want a very short list of this, and it's there, and like Chat GPT is integrated, which I do think
What?
will be, which will be useful. A lot of this is AI designed. So I don't want to say this wrong, but just off the top, and when Leia gets back with her shot, she can probably help us. Part of what it does is it can hide apps now, so you like can't see them on your home screen or something. And then with messaging, certain apps can have specific lock codes. So like your phone can have a lock code, and then within that you can lock apps so people can't get into it. And there was something with
when you know how when they do their whole keynote and they're going through everything, and then they're like, they give an instant or like an instance where this would be like really useful or necessary. You know,
they didn't say. They're like, they basically were like, so your privacy is more protected than ever. And I'm like, yeah, so men can cheat. I'm sorry, women cheat too.
Oh, they're trying to say like, oh, if you lose your phone, if I lose my phone, I'm gonna lock that shit anyway from like. Oh no!
Thank you. I'm gonna use your Celsius for this.
Oh,
doesn't that taste like old times?
that was really hard today.
In the top searches on TikTok, it says iOS 18 update cheaters. That's what we want. Let's click that. That's one of the updates. You can now see within your text how many are sent versus received. So you can see if someone is
scoreboard.
Yeah, there's
a text message scoreboard. Oh my God.
Okay, let's just list them and then we'll discuss. Okay, so Face ID is now required for the apps in addition to getting into the phone.
That's so annoying. Wait, what?
Okay, so now it shows the person what they are saved under in your phone. So if you don't have their number saved, it shows that. I don't save anyone's
How do
number.
they know that though? I don't know. That's been...
Or if their name is saved under a different name, it'll let them know. Like one time I saw a TikTok that this girl had locked this guy out of his car and he's like, let me in. And she's like, why the fuck is Pizza Hut FaceTiming you?
Imagine the graveyard emojis.
Okay, so now when you're FaceTiming someone, it tells you you're doing other things. My sister's, just does not work.
No, I don't think you can do that.
Okay.
I don't know. Is this true?
Yes, 100%. Okay, yeah. So I don't know how you re-access it, but basically there's a new folder that's hidden. So you put all your apps in there, and then like when you swipe away from it, it is literally gone. You can't search it, nothing. So there's that, and there's something else weird about text messages. So one of the things that's crazy for the people who are stalking is it shows you how many times someone is checking your location. It lets you know what your name is in the other person's phone. Or so like if you're not saving them because we're not sure if we're keeping them on the roster, it's just a phone number. It'll let them know. It lets you know when a text was seen, even if read receipts aren't on. And then it just makes it much easier for people to hide shady shit. So each app individually, like, I don't think anyone cares about really having their...
What is this, the accountability update?
It's the accountability update.
It
doesn't... I don't think it really cares, like, if your app is like... I don't think it's hiding your Duolingo. I don't think anyone cheater is like caring about those apps, but I bet Instagram's going to be blocked, and Twitter, and your photos, and whatever. But yeah, it just makes everything a lot more visible if you want to stalk, and then a lot easier to hide if you want to be shady.
I'll be turning off every one of those features.
Do you think they can be turned off?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, always. There's always going to be an option for it. You're not just like stuck. Like everyone's going to be able to know when you read their shit. No, too bad for that. And if that's the case, then so what?
Well, and also, what's the point of read receipts? Do you say read receipts or read receipts? Read receipts is past tense, right?
Read, yeah. It was read at this time.
Yeah, like if you don't have that on specifically, what would the point be?
That's why I'm curious. Like, because the guy was like, "Oh yeah, and this is exactly what's happening." Does anyone have the update? Do we know that's exactly how it works?
Well, I mean, yeah, they just had the keynote speech, but
I know, but the way he was explaining it was a lot more like if you're talking to literally anyone, they know everything you're doing on your phone. I was like, I don't know, that seems a little like much.
I guess we'll find out.
Like, I just can't imagine them making that a feature of like, oh, if you're text messaging with someone, they're gonna know like what sites you're viewing. That is such an invasive feature, and I can't imagine there being anything to do with that.
I mean, time will tell.
Time will tell.
I believe it. But remember when back in the day, this was like a while ago, when Instagram used to show who liked what? Remember how funny that was? Like, so you could see if your man's was liking whose specific photo. Like, you'd go into that activity.
Yeah.
The activity stream. Like, why'd we get rid of that? That was great entertainment. Anyone could see it.
Well, I'm happy for that. I don't want people to know what I'm liking. The same way on TikTok, you can hide your likes. I don't want people to know what I'm liking. Not that it's shady. It's just like, but like it just feels like you're gonna get too much. You're gonna get such a peek into my soul of like the things that I connect to. That like I just want that to be for me.
For me, it's more of a numbers thing. I don't want people to know how many videos I like in a 24-hour period because I'm never.
And there's that too.
Not on TikTok. How many hours a day are you on TikTok? Be real with yourself.
I mean, I'm trying to. You said something so funny.
We had this conversation. For me, I was like, I'm on TikTok 4 hours a day. Like 5 if I'm being totally honest with myself, and 6 if I'm gonna be real. Maybe 7. Like
7 if you tell the truth.
If I'm telling the truth, because here's the thing, we have to count the night scroll. There is nothing I get more horned up for. Lately, I've been getting bed 7:30, 8 because I'm like, TikTok once said we're not trying to compete with Instagram, we're trying to compete with Netflix, and I'm like, I buy that because my periods of pausing what I'm watching is getting longer and longer, and I'm like, you know what? Why don't I go enjoy this in bed where I'm comfortable?
Why don't I take this somewhere more comfortable?
I'm done with the day. Let me just get in there. I look at Laszlo and I'm like, you ready to ride? Let's saddle up. I stick her in her Barefoot Dreams receiving blanket. She's making biscuits. I'm unbothered. I'm on D&D. I'm just like the best version of myself. And I'm just like rubbing my little feet together like, and then but it's midnight. So that's 4 hours right there. Like it's that.
Oh, dang.
Oh, that happens to me.
My TikTok is usually always like in bed. So it's in the morning or it's at night when I'm like trying to go to bed. I'll fall asleep watching a TikTok and then I'm having a dream, and it's because you know how TikToks will just keep playing and playing and playing.
Yeah.
And my phone won't lock because there's a video running. So I'll wake up and I'm like, oh my God. I was just watching that technically for like 3 hours.
Who knows how long?
And then sometimes like because I fall asleep with my phone in my hand sometimes. And like my thumb will press on the video and then you can automatically share it somewhere. But the thing is, it's not like I'm watching anything like terrible or incriminating. Like I accidentally posted a TikTok to my story the other night and it was talking about like black cat energy. And the next day I went on my activities and I was like, everyone liked your story. I'm like, I haven't posted on my story. What did I post? Oh my God. And it was just like a repost of some like video.
Do you typically use the stories feature of TikTok?
Never.
I don't use that.
Never. The only time I ever post anything, well, no, I've done it a couple times. But if I ever repost anything on there, it's an accident. I'm asleep doing that.
I had something I think I told you and Ariana about it when you were here. It wasn't that long ago. I was fed a TikTok and it was extremely problematic to the point that I was like, why is this on my algorithm? And I went to go click not interested and I accidentally clicked repost because I repost so crazy on TikTok because it's just like how I used to when I had a Twitter. Like I just love reposting things that bring me joy. And so you know how you're just used to clicking a button? Like it was just a reflex. And I immediately, luckily, thank God I saw it and then undid it and then said not interested. But that was a shocking moment, just like ran down my spine. It was like, I couldn't defend that. Like
no.
It would look so bad, but it wasn't even a thing. So
it's like when you accidentally post something to like main story instead of close friends.
Oh yeah.
Like the other day I wanted just to post the screenshot of my like home screen playing Smell Your Dick. And I want to put this on close friends. It might be a little aggressive for the population of people that follow me. And I never want to be judged. That's why I have my close friends. I have 200 people on my close friends. Okay, when you eventually have as many followers on Instagram and you want to just behave normally and be like slightly unhinged, you create a smaller community of people that are going to still interact and you can still joke on things with. But it's not shared to almost 8 million people.
Even with that number, it's still, but also I really do think I'm the only person that treats it that way because I'm like.
You treat it like a group text.
Yeah, it's just very.
Didn't need to see it. You could have texted me.
Very small because I'm unhinged on it. So.
Well, but it's nothing crazy, but it's like, there's some memes that like hot dog content and things like as such, I don't know, especially late at night when I want to repost stuff and people will be like, is she okay?
Hot dogs have become an unpaid actor on this podcast. It would take
people that kind of know me or have engaged with me to understand that that's just like the humor, but people that just only know me from like Vanderpump Rules or whatever, they're not ready.
They're not ready. We're about to turn you on to the only deodorant you'll ever need. It's called Lumi Whole Body Deodorant, and it's formulated for all the places that tend to get a little stinky when the weather warms up. There's no shame. It happens to everyone. Like your pits, your privates, and all the way down to your stinky little feet.
Well, yeah, not only does it go where other deodorants don't, it's also just outrageously effective. One application in the morning is clinically proven to block odor all day. So even if this summer feels like you're in the valley, or you're literally in the valley, you don't need to worry. Lume has you covered with up to 72 hours of odor control.
Are you ready to make this your freshest summer ever? Like summer 2023 is kind of stank ass. This.
And here's how. New customers get 15% off all Lume products with our exclusive code and link. Use code disrespectfully at lumedeodorant.com. That's LumeDeodorant.com.
I love that Lume was created by an OBGYN. Big fan of the OBGYN. I trust them with my life. It's clinically proven to block odor all day and control odor for up to 72 hours.
Oh yeah, no, I'm a huge fan. Put it everywhere. Put it on your feet, put it on your arms, put it between the legs, put it literally everywhere. You're going to smell like a toasted coconut.
This is a toasted coconut stand podcast.
It is. The fact that it controls odor for 72 hours is totally wild. Unlike certain traditional deodorants that try to mask odor with fragrance, Lume is formulated and powered by mandelic acid to stop odor before it starts. It's more like a pre-odorant.
Should we tell them about that?
Like a deodorant, but pre-odorant.
Love. Well, and as you know, we love products that are clean, clean, clean. Lume is baking soda free, paraben free, and pH balanced, so safe to use below the belt. Those delicate pHs, we got to take care of them.
I love all of their scents. They have clean tangerine, lavender sage, and my favorite, toasted coconut.
Lume Starter Pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice, like a mini body wash and deodorant wipes, and free shipping.
As a special offer for listeners, new customers get 15% off all Lume products with our exclusive code. And if you combine the 15% off with already discounted starter pack, that equals over 40% off their starter pack. Use code disrespectfully for 15% off your first purchase at lumedeodorant.com.
That's code disrespectfully at LumeDeodorant.com.
The alien shit.
Yes.
When we discovered aliens were real and like nobody seemed to care.
No one cared.
One of the biggest mysteries of the last century. And they're like, yeah, no, there's aliens for sure. And everyone's like, anyways, I don't know. I don't remember what was going on in the world. Like they decided to like scoot it in there when there was like bigger problems happening and just be like, hey, by the way, yeah, aliens are real. Like no one was paying attention.
We were like, is that the government yapping again? We just really couldn't deal with it. They were like confirmed, which obviously we have known, like area, what is it? Area 59 or whatever the fuck. We have known they were real, and
I saw this. Yeah,
I feel passionate that they're real in general, but yeah, the world, it just speaks to the climate in the world right now. Like if that had happened in 1963, people would have come unglued, but we're just like, yeah, yes, and
I saw this post, and it's basically kind of just summarizing. There was a study by Harvard academics, and the paper suggests extraterrestrials could be living underground or inside the moon. Harvard University's Human Flourishing Program posits? I don't know. The UFOs, or unidentified aerial phenomenon, may be spaceships visiting Earth-based alien friends. So they're just coming here to say what's up to their homies. And then it says, researchers have investigated cryptoterrestrials who might be disguising themselves as humans coming from Earth's future or descending from intelligent dinosaurs. The study offers unconventional explanations for UAP sightings, hypothesizing non-human intelligences, the UFO sightings, and the hypothesizing non-human intelligences existing stealthily alongside humans. 4 theories include ancient human civilizations, advanced non-human terrestrial animals, extraterrestrials or time travelers, and magical entities like fairies or elves. They're just rolling them all into one. The academics acknowledge the strangeness of these theories, especially the magical cryptoterrestrials, which challenge conventional scientific explanations. I mean, okay, Harvard is doing this shit.
Well, and if they're like living on the moon having a kiki, that's their business. Leave them alone.
No, but they're saying that they live among us.
And well, they're here too. Also their business. I'm like, I think that maybe if anything, they are coming to visit their friends because they miss them. But then they're like here and they're like, this is gross.
I want to know if I've ever met an alien.
100%. half the people I've dated.
But like, let me know about it. Take me home to meet your friends.
The whole, yeah, no, I'm like, tell me about the waters of your homeland because it is whack here. I don't like it. Especially being an election year. I'm like, shoot me right to space. Right to space.
Orange Man saying that he would release files or whatever. What is the documents?
Because he loves sealed documents. He loves to take them home and read them on the John.
It's his version of TikTok scrolling.
Literally.
About like Area 51. And I've listened to
Area 51. I was close.
Like one of the only Joe Rogan podcasts I listened to was with Bob Lazar. And he was talking about, he was spilling all kinds of tea on Area 51, his time there. Like he's saying as much as he could without fearing for his life probably. But it was like 3 hours long.
Well, and the thing is I feel like we've lost half our audience, but I just believe that in such a big way. Now they're saying that they discovered an ocean in the core of the earth. And one of my favorite theories.
A what?
They're saying there's an ocean in the core of the earth, like underneath the ocean. I'm like, wasn't it lava down there? I don't know. That's what I was taught in 7th grade biology before I stopped drinking and paying attention. I'm like, one of my favorite theories is that it's kind of like Interstellar. Someone is basically saying that the bottom of the ocean is the top of space. So that's why it's so freaky. And then when you get down to those deep sea creatures.
I'm sorry, what?
They're saying the very bottom of the ocean
is the top of space.
Is the top of space. And we have explored more of outer space than we have our own oceans.
Which freaks me the fuck out.
Which is really crazy. And there's some, you see the like freaky deaky little squids down there and shit. Like
there's like just like it looks like just crusty. It looks like burnt pizza crust. And it's floating in spot. Did you see the one where the fish was just hanging out and there was like a
like,
he looked like he was fossilized, a turtle, and he was just getting slower. He's like,
yeah, and like the anglerfish, like what?
Oh, gross.
Things that nightmares are made of. So I think that anything's possible. I'm not ruling it out, but the way that our galaxy is so vast, even more than we can comprehend. I'm like, there is many things out there. I think I told you one of the scariest, and I can't remember if it was a real thing or not, or it was like supposedly real that we sent, waves out into the universe trying to make contact with another galaxy. This must have been made up, but basically someone was saying like the scariest thought was getting a response back and saying be quiet, they'll hear you.
What?
Yeah. So it's basically saying like there's many other worlds out there and there's scariness and evil that we cannot comprehend that haven't found us yet.
I'm so scared.
I mean, I'd rather be, I feel like, an alien prisoner than a handmaid.
Oh, so, yeah. That's what I'm saying.
In 2024, I'm like, whatever.
Probe me, use me.
Hey, it's been a lonely spring for me. So, yeah,
Girl,
I'm like.
No, yesterday, I don't know what, I said something, but I don't know. I was just like, I haven't been touched in a really long time.
Maybe they'll have the correct wave patterns. Maybe their vibrators are so advanced. The aliens
haven't figured
out. Yes. Intergalactic. I mean, people, when we were like kind of joking about having a sex toy company, but like maybe we should. And I bet they have it figured out. I bet it's so dialed.
I think we need to do some like group research of just like what's your biggest qualm with the vibrators, and then we'll take it to our space friends. Well, no, but we'll just take it to the drawing board. But
here's what I know: if they know how to find outer space in this entire galaxy, they definitely know how to find the clit. So I feel good about it, and that's why. I mean, so maybe I've never slept with an alien because
yeah,
many of them don't. I'm like, if you can steer a spaceship, I'm sure you know what's happening.
You can
here.
navigate space. You can navigate this pussy. Sorry. So aggressive. So aggressive.
Anyway, I think that's a whole little rant about that. But yeah, it was so funny that it randomly popped up on my feed and I was like, the way they were like,
I don't think it was random, babe.
Aliens are real. And all of us were just like, meh.
We don't care.
Do you remember this, Leia?
Which one?
When they confirmed aliens are real and then we all just kind of were like, whatever.
It was not even like news for 2 days.
Well, actually,
it's like they kept trying to get people to care, and I was like, "We don't care." I don't know.
I don't remember.
Well, probably because you cared so little. You were too busy making human life. Also, because we were discussing this the other day, the Denver airport. This is what a transition, because in terms of the bottom of ocean possibly being the top of space, who knows about the Denver airport lore? Have you heard about this?
No.
What?
Oh my God.
I keep saying things that they change like contractors like every couple months. It's like they want to just remain this like elusive space. I don't know what's happening there.
So apparently there's a great evil at the Denver airport. And this isn't like fun Martians. This is like, they're saying it's a portal.
I believe it.
So there's all these weird like
corridors.
All these weird
that go
corridors.
on and on and on.
And there's like this artwork, which who knows, maybe they've taken it away. There's this weird, no one ever really paid attention until they did. And they're like, it's like all these children going into hell and like these weird statues. And then it has a specific name. And I guarantee you someone from back home is screaming at their phone right now because they know what it's called. The portals, like, or the corridors in the back. There's like this dead space in the back of the Denver airport, which some people have accessed and then taken videos of. And it's this uncanny valley situation because it looks like a normal like hallways and whatever, but it goes on and on and on.
Yeah.
And no one else is around.
Yeah. They don't see a soul. I recently saw someone as recent as like last week, and he was like, okay, so somehow I'm in these back halls or the whatever of the Denver airport, and he's just videoing for like minutes and not a single person is passing him. And it's like, okay, if you're able to get down there, other people have to, but it's like I feel like you go into this weird dimension where you're alone in a maze of hallways. That sounds like I've had that dream.
Yeah, and then I woke up in a cold sweat. Like it's, let me look up, because Leia, if you haven't heard of this, Google like Denver airport murals. There's tons of conspiracy theories out there, but they're so weird. Like when you really look at it, like there's this man he's wearing like a gas mask and has AK and that's like Jafar's sword. Like I've never seen that except for in Aladdin. And then all these like women crying and little children, and it looks like he just like comes out of the earth. And then there's this other one, and if you just look at it, it looks like a very colorful, you know, it's inconspicuous in that way, but then it's a bunch of kids. Some of them have weapons, some of them are crying. It's so weird. So I need someone to write in. If you have weird Denver airport stories, please write into Hometown Heroes. We need to know about it. But this shit is like, it's just so weird. So what is the deal?
I don't know. It's like, it's giving also like the whole like back rooms.
Yeah, the back room thing I hadn't even heard about until I saw that video, and I was like, that is so freaky.
I don't even know. I mean, I was like, it's fictional, but like people have like recounted insane stories of finding themselves like in a back room and then entering into a new dimension, basically.
I mean, I'm just like so stuck in the murals because it's very much like a hiding in plain sight thing.
Yeah.
That it looks normal if you're just not paying attention, but if you use like critical thought and you actually look at it, you're like, wait, this is bizarre.
Who are the artists?
Yeah.
Can they explain themselves?
Also that, identify yourself immediately. I would have such a severe panic attack if I ended up in the back room area and I was alone and it went on and on because I have panic disorder, and one of my triggers is feeling trapped, even if I'm in a like big space and I can breathe and I'm not claustrophobic. Like if it used to be a thing for me in traffic because I felt like I couldn't move, or if I was driving a long distance by myself in somewhere rural. Yes, I can drive, I can breathe, but I felt like I couldn't get to the next place.
Like in a conversation you just don't want to be having.
Oh my God.
Worst
I mean, we discussed this last night. When I'm done with something, I'm just like, goodbye.
She's so abrupt.
I'm not subtle about it. I'm just like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Mid-conversation, and Dane's like, anyways, I'll talk to you tomorrow. And I'm like, and then she's out the door within 10 seconds.
In the Denver airport. That's where I'm running to.
In the corridors.
To go investigate it.
What did you want to say about men who clearly hate their girlfriends and wives on their social media?
My God. Okay. So I have seen, I can't wait for the basement today too, as I always can't. So I've been seeing an influx of, it's mostly women who post their partners, and usually men, and the men so clearly hate them or don't want to be there. This one couple was getting ready to go to their rehearsal dinner. They were getting married. And the caption was, he doesn't like social media, LOL. And he pulled her back and was like, fit check, like this is blah, blah, blah. This is blah, 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 like her outfit. And she was like, okay, tell him who it is. He literally like pulls his hands away and looks down. And he's like, I don't know, it's a shirt. Here's the thing. If you hate social media, that's fine. But or like I saw another one where they were taking photos at a wedding and she was like trying to kiss him and he pulled back and went like this, made a gun at her head, and then was like, made a gun at his head. And it was just like, and then finally smiled for a photo. And I'm like, this is going to be a video she looks back on when they break up, and the Barbie song is going to start playing. It's going to be, and then she's going to be like, the signs were there all along. Have you seen these?
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, I see examples of that type of thing all the time. And there's also the whole theory that whenever someone posts like a really long caption for someone's birthday or anniversary, they hate their spouse or their girlfriend or wife or husband. It goes both ways as well. But it's like, yeah, it's so, I don't know why it's so obvious to other people, but to them, they're just like, hee hee. And then they have to do a whole video explaining, here's the thing, this is how we joke, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, babe, let's revisit this in 7 years when you're in therapy talking about how like all the same reasons, all the red flags that are there in the beginning are the reasons why you leave that person.
Absolutely. And like to your point about that, I've seen one where like this guy like screams at his girlfriend because she does something and the internet comes for him. And then, yeah, they're like, we love each other, blah, blah, blah. And we're like, he is being so loud. He's telling you, he's playing in your face right now. He's telling you how much he hates you and you are just going along with it. And it's so like canon event. Like, especially if she then doubles down and comes on the internet. Look, I love Simone Biles. She's an incredible athlete. The way she has over and over and over defended her husband, who I love to this day that people troll him and call him like when they do a lower third for him, Simone Biles' husband. And I'm like, yeah, acting like you don't know who she was, one of the most decorated athletes of our time.
Yeah. Insane.
Well, the same way, I'm like, I love her, but the way that she was defending him, and I get it, you're married to him, so that's the choice you made, but that was gross. And it's like, he thinks he's the prize, which is nuts.
Well, one day she'll... But yeah, no, she's gotten extremely like, I don't want to say like hostile, but like in her defense, where she's like literally like, fuck you all. I'm like, girl.
We love you. We just want to support, like protect you. And I guess if that's a choice you're going to make, it is. But like, it's an epidemic of women excusing shitty behavior and partners so blatantly mistreating them and being so comfortable too in a camera.
As someone who did that for so many years, being on the other side of it now, like literally get the fuck out of it. It's not going to change. You're going to feel like a fool. And not to blame myself and all that, but it's just like I 100% ignored so many things and justified and excused terrible behavior and treatment of myself for way too long. So I'm not sitting here trying to pretend that like that didn't happen. 100% happened. But I'm here to tell the tale of getting on the other side of it.
Well, you and I were both summa cum laude of Dumb Bitch University. So also the reason that we have this perspective to offer, I do think sometimes you do need to, unfortunately, a lot of these people need to go through it. But like, yeah, in this day and age and when things can find themselves on the internet, especially like the way that someone hits record and they are so comfy just being total dicks to their person and then them posting it and just being like, oh no, he's just such a silly goose.
This is just how we joke.
You. He hates you.
Yeah. It makes me really sad.
It makes me sad too.
Oh, I was hoping there was a little bit of levity to that one, but
I wanted to know your thoughts on something because, and Leigh, you can weigh in too if you saw this, but there was this mother of the bride. Do you see this?
No. Well, maybe. I don't know. Go on.
Okay. So she was wearing this, I thought it was beautiful, this like green silk dress with a flower pattern, like floral pattern on it. And it came down a little bit, like gave her a little bit of cleavage. And on the back of it, there was this like large bow, which people like went down to the floor, which people are saying is like resembled a veil or a train or whatever, and like trying to outshine the bride. The first time I saw the video, I was like, oh my God, she looks so beautiful. And it's clear that her and the daughter have a close relationship. And I can't imagine the mother of the bride would ever wear something that the bride was like, please don't do this, or I didn't like it. So it didn't even cross my mind. And then the internet is currently split over it. And like, she's trying to upstage the bride. She's trying to outshine. And I'm like, I did not get that read. I think that that's silly. Let me show you guys a picture
I want
of
to see the picture, but yeah, but for when people get so upset about that, just because there might be an extravagant sort of element to the dress that they're trying to like upstage. It's like, no. First of all, if someone's clearly in a wedding gown, nothing is going to upstage that.
Also that.
Period. Unless they're wearing white and it is pretty much a wedding dress, or could pass as one. But oh no, what? Oh,
I thought it was beautiful. The first thing I was like, wow, that's so gorgeous.
I think it's, but okay. I mean, I get that it's a big sort of thing, but I think it's stunning.
I think
no way.
Leigh, go on TikTok and look up.
Can you see this?
Oh, I see.
Go on TikTok and look at Mother of the Bride too. It's just like, I don't know, even though like the sweet videos of the two of them together, I just can't imagine a world in which the bride was like, fuck this bitch, you're trying to take my man. And I'm not saying that that doesn't exist in the world, but to me, it's just like a really beautiful dress. And I think the bride's probably super secure.
I don't think the first one, her dress is so stunning, and
the bride. Are you talking about the bride or the mom?
The bride.
Yeah,
and bride. The mom. They both look amazing, but I don't see that being a competition at all.
No, it just did not give that.
Especially, I'm sure she showed it to her daughter-in-law. I was like, what do you think about this dress? And her daughter-in-law was probably like, love it, get it. Now, that's what I did with Stassi, because like Stassi wanted, because I was only, her and Bo only had, like Bo had Rob as his like whatever, and then Stassi had me. So she didn't have like a wedding party with like bridesmaids and things like that. So she was like, wear something like couture vibe, like really make it, elevated. So I was like, okay. And there's that element of like, I don't want to like upstage. Not that I feel like I could, because her dress was so stunning.
So pretty.
But I was like, all right. So I showed her a dress I found, and she like bullied me to get it. No, she didn't bully me.
I loved
But
that
she was
dress.
like, you have to get that, order immediately, right now. Oh my God, this is the one. It's perfect. Da, da, da. But it was a dress that had like, it didn't look like a wedding dress or anything like that, but it's a dress that was very like extra.
It was like light too in color, and like made your tits look amazing, and like if I remember correctly, it had like not ruffles but like layers to it.
It had like
it was
tiered lace pieces.
Yeah, lace.
And so I mean, it had a lot of like wedding dress kind of elements, but even though I couldn't see anyone actually getting married in it, but it was a dress that was pretty extra. But she was like, this is the one, get it now. So anyone that would try to say like I was trying to compete or anything like that, like no.
That wasn't a question.
Wasn't a question.
If it's a mother-in-law or anyone at a wedding wearing a white dress, and it's like so clearly a white dress and it's shocking, that to me is it. But this was an appropriate color and an appropriate, like, I don't know. I just think that
it reminds me of someone we saw at a wedding wearing a white dress.
Oh yeah. We were like,
babe, what are you doing?
What are you doing? This is weird.
Like, do you feel uncomfortable?
Even sometimes I see certain dresses that are like, and I'm not a wedding person. I just like, don't love weddings. But sometimes I'm like, even for me, but luckily I mostly wear black, so it's never an issue. But I see ones that are like towing the line of like a white dress that has very dainty flowers you can barely see. And it's still kind of like, did you ever pause to think, like on the rehearsal dinner of Nick and Natalie's wedding, I brought a black leather skirt and because it was country chic was the theme, and a white remember this? And I did not even think about it. It was like a white button up, and I was like, I think I borrowed it from Raleigh, and then when I got there, she was like, yeah, and it's not that much white, so the bride won't even think about it. And I was like,
no, I said something. I was like,
or no, or maybe it was you, yeah, or maybe you. She didn't say anything, and you did, and I was like, oh my God, I didn't even, because it's just a button up. I didn't even think like white or bridal. And so we went shopping that day and I got something black because I was like, holy shit, I'm not going. And I think you were like, why don't you just text Natalie and ask? And I was like, what I've learned in my life is if you have to ask, is this okay? It's probably not. So I was like, I don't want to bother her. It's her wedding weekend. So we went and shopped and it was fine.
And she didn't even wear white.
That too. But regardless.
But still, like, to any wedding event, maybe just avoid white.
Oh, I would have been mortified looking back because it was like, so, and who knows, maybe it's a slip up, but I'm talking about at the actual wedding. If you're wearing a long white dress, I can't imagine you don't consider that.
No, the girl we saw, I looked at, I was like, that's a white dress. And it wasn't just a white dress. It's like what someone would get married on a beach with.
It was like gowny.
It was giving, this is what I got married in on the beach in Turks and Caicos.
Yeah.
Because it was that vibe. I was like, how the fuck?
It was interesting. It was a choice.
Nobody said anything to you before you left the house.
Apparently they need a Katie Maloney in their life.
It's just common knowledge at this point.
Yeah.
I don't know. If someone showed up like that to my wedding, I'd be like, oh, whatever, they're going to look like idiots, but like, I'm not upset about it.
I know. Well, I personally wouldn't care, but I also, my dream is to never have a wedding. And if my dream wedding would be at a courthouse. Like people,
what would you wear?
I'm not saying that I wouldn't ever get married, but I don't know. And if I did, it would be at a courthouse. Something cunty, not traditional. I would not have a long dress on. I don't know, and if I wanted to wear white, I'm guessing it would just be something like short and very cunty. And like a really good pair of shoes, but no, it's just not for me.
Yeah.
The whole long dress of it all.
I know.
Would you ever want another wedding?
No. I've said that I'm not against ever getting married. I don't want to, but if I met somebody and it was really important to them, Okay, fine. But I don't want a wedding. It's like, it feels weird. It feels weird to like, not because of sweat, but just planning another wedding, inviting not all the same people, but some of the same people. And they're like, here we go to another wedding of hers. It just, I don't know. It feels wrong. And it's just, it was so much work. And I just don't want to do that again.
You're like, I'm late tired.
I'm late tired.
Well, you shouldn't be today. You're rested. Should we do the basement?
Yeah. Okay. Let's do basement.
Look, it's no secret, Katie, you've inspired me to put more effort in getting dressed for the day.
And how many meet cutes have you had since?
Well, exactly one, but I'm expecting more.
Love it.
And honestly, it's been life-changing, especially for my mood. And Jenni Kayne has been my go-to during this journey. Because don't get me wrong, I still take comfort very seriously. It's top priority. Jenni Kayne is both comfortable and stylish. We love to be cute and hot. That is the goal. Everything in their collection is designed so intentionally that you can style pieces together without a second thought. I love to pair their sweaters with everything from a classic denim to a simple dress for a look that's just effortless and easily put together.
I love that Jenni Kayne really focuses on comfort, quality, and, you know, a timeless design, so you can curate a wardrobe that's never going to go out of style.
Never.
We love staples.
Little capsule. Step into summer style with ease thanks to one of our favorite sponsors, Jenni Kayne. Jenni Kayne is a California brand through and through, and their staples make getting dressed effortless, perfect for summer aesthetic. I just wore one of their cardigans the other day with a skirt because it's obviously getting hot here, and it just felt so cute too, and it's so cute still and chic, but was summarized.
It's like one of my favorite uniforms. Think minimalist and refined with pieces like luxurious cashmere sweaters and iconic accessories to elevate versions of all your everyday basics. Jenni Kayne has everything you need to embrace your uniform, like we just said.
Not to mention the most incredible home essentials too. Jenni Kayne is here to help you live your best season yet.
And for a limited time, our listeners get 15% off their first order. Go to jennikayne.com, use the code disrespectfully 15 to get 15% off.
Jenni Kayne is known for their super luxe yet lightweight sweaters, perfect for spring and summer vibes. Trust us. And by this point, I think we could do a trust fall and I'd feel good about it. They do relaxed knits better than anyone. The Cooper cardigan is cute with its button accents and flattering silhouette, making it perfect lightweight layer for cool evenings and air-conditioned spaces.
I'm personally obsessed with the Riviera slip dress because I love a slip dress. It's the perfect choice for all of the summer gatherings and functions, you know?
Sure is. Find your new uniform at jennikayne.com. Our listeners get 15% off your first order when you use code disrespectfully15 at checkout.
That's 15% off your first order, JENNIKAYNE.com. Promo code disrespectfully15. Let getting dressed be one less thing to worry about. Embrace your summer aesthetic with Jenni Kayne. Okay, well, mine is pretty general, and you'll probably know why. People who cut lines, line cutters in general, and it's like they're like, oh, let me just scooch by you. My friends are up there. I'm like, I don't give a fuck where your friends are. Why weren't you with them when they got in line? You don't hold place for people. For 4 of your friends to show up late because they were fucking off somewhere, especially at Disneyland. I just think it's so just not okay.
Oh yeah, we went to Disney. We didn't even talk about that.
When you're halfway through a line and your friends are halfway through the line, like you missed the opportunity. When they're like towards the back, whatever. But if you're having to scooch by people, I'm gonna be pissed off.
More so for me, it's about the spatial, like if they have to squeeze through, but more so for me, it's about if it's an individual person too, that's either being an aloof magoof or really is just like hostile or rude about it. But yeah, we went to Disney. We definitely experienced that.
Yeah, I was angry about it.
It's supposed to be the happiest goddamn place on earth.
I was being very passive aggressive. I'm like, I hope you have the worst week ever. Go ahead.
I hope you barf on the teacups.
Well, it just feels like it's so inconsiderate. Again, like, oh, sorry. So our friends are up there. I'm so sorry. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Get in the back.
Agreed.
I hate when people do it in cars also, like especially on Laurel Canyon. There's always that like other lane that you could just like zoom past and then cut in front.
Oh yeah, that's the reason why we have traffic is because of people who cannot get their shit together ahead of time, or they just want to scooch ahead of the line of traffic and then make everybody stop so they can get in. Like
if people all merged properly, traffic would reduce by 30% in the city. It's just like, did we all not go to the same driving school? Did you go to the Denver airport driving school? Was it an upside down situation? There were no rules.
Or when people are driving in the far left lane and then they realize that their exit's coming up right now, so they have to scooch across 5 lanes of traffic, but that backs everything up.
Also, it's not worth it. Like if it could be a big safety issue, like people get in accidents, I'm like, just miss your exit. You're just gonna have to fix this Go to the next exit, figure it out.
They just don't want to be driving with the slow traffic. So they wait till the last second. It's giving like the world revolves around me vibes.
Agreed.
Anyway.
Well, my basement's a little dark, but then I have one that's kind of light. Mine is a guy named Michael J. Ladina. Ladina. He is the man who drugged 3 of his daughter's friends at a sleepover. This man, I don't think he assaulted them or anything ended up happening, but still drugging young teens is traumatizing as fuck for them and horrible. And like, also you obviously had intentions and it just didn't pan out. He only got 2 years in jail. 2 years in jail for that. So he was just sentenced for his crime. So number 1, he's in the basement for what he did and he's disgusting. But number 2, the judge or whoever doled out that sentence. And I think the maximum was 4.5 years, which still is like, there's certain laws around people doing really vile things that I think need stricter punishment. And that would definitely be one of them. You had intent to commit some type of crime. And even if it didn't happen, you should not be able to drug anyone, particularly not minors, particularly not 3. So even if the maximum was 4 years, why wouldn't it be for each girl?
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, then whoever decided that punishment, both of you get in my basement. Hate, double hate, loathe entirely. Oh my God, this one's really sad. So my other one is I just saw, can't remember whose podcast it was, but they have a segment where they do videos that get like crazy, like a big amount of comments or crazy comments. And there was this very unassuming, nice lady who was doing a video about like differences in almond milk or something like at a grocery store. People were saying the most heinous, insidious things about her appearance and unnecessary comments. And they were like kind of laughing about it. So I'm like, whatever, their basement. But the people who are leaving those comments, I was like, people are so comfortable on the internet saying horrible things about other people. She's going to see that. And like, why are you so comfortable being mean to people that especially about their appearance?
And they don't know you. They haven't done anything to you. They're existing and you're taking such issue with it and voicing your disgusting opinions. Like that, the thought would never cross my mind to do that.
No, and it's just like, let her make her video about what she wants to make it about. She did nothing wrong. Yeah. It was just, ugh, that it made my stomach turn. Like I was just like, that poor person who just wanted to make this video. Like, so please be nicer. I don't think any of our listeners are like that, but please don't leave mean comments, particular about people's appearances. It's just like so unnecessary.
That's correct.
Anyway, that's my basement.
Anyway, okay. What's next? Hometown.
Should we kick this thing up a notch?
Hometown hero.
Hometown heroes. Melissa says, hello, queens. Let me start by saying I'm absolutely obsessed with the pod. It's become a regular listen. Back in my early 20s, I worked at a restaurant with an older manager who was a toxic coke addict. So obviously I had a huge crush. It never went anywhere beyond sexting, and we continued to sext here and there over the following years. Last year, after a breakup, I had a few margaritas and was feeling twirly, so I sent out a text. He immediately asked for my new address to send me a gift, and I thought, why the hell not? A week later, I opened up a package with the world's largest vibrator, a crystal-encrusted butt plug, mouth gag, and tons of lingerie. I looked up the prices of the items, and it totaled over $1,000. After receiving the gifts, he started really aggressively demanding videos and turned into a real psycho. So, as I was already moving on, I swiftly hit the block and left all the items in a box on the side of the street. I like to imagine that some passerby found the gifts and had gotten great joy from them. I also fear a toddler picked up the butt plug, but whatever.
Ew.
Well, as you mentioned before, I had, when I was like 16, a creepy coke addict restaurant manager boss, the worst. But also for him to send you those gifts and then assume that you were going to, make content for him, like it was an exchange of some kind. Like if you send someone a butt plug, do it because out of the kindness of your heart. Don't do it because you're expecting a video of them using it.
In this lingerie, like that is such a personal, intimate gift to give to somebody that you're not like in a relationship with. But this person clearly doesn't live on Earth or in any kind of reality. That's wild.
No, he was on a bender when he did that. But we know someone who will remain nameless who kind of had an interaction with someone that I don't think they had ever hooked up, and he sent her a bunch of sex stuff too, but it was like gag gifts basically. Like he was taking it seriously. He went to like adamandeve.com and got their like stupidest.
Oh,
they sent her like the cheesiest shit you've ever seen, and it was just like, sir, what were you thinking? But I don't know. To each their own.
Awful. Don't do that. Don't be weird. Anyway, like unless you know that person wants it and you've been in like a relationship and it's comfortable, I would be so icked out. Anyway, Jess says, hi, babes. Love the show so much. I'm writing in with my recent dating horror story. I started dating a guy who I met on Tinder after being single for a year and a half. Thought I was ready for a relationship, but this man gave me a whole new level of buffoonery. Here are the red flags from our short 3-month relationship. Enjoy. One morning, we were hanging out at his house and he farted in the kitchen. Took it as a sign we were comfortable in the relationship, so I farted too. And this man turned around and gave me the most serious look and said, don't do that. I thought he was joking, but he was serious. He followed up with, you know how if something goes wrong at Disney, it ruins the Disney magic for a child? Your fart is ruining my Disney magic. He then proceeded to explain that I have a very nice butt, but he doesn't want to think about what it does. He asked if I could not fart when I'm in his house. Okay. He suggested we watch a documentary that always makes him cry. It was the Little Peep documentary. Okay. Went on a rant about how sex workers should work a real job instead of relying on rich men to support them. I'm a burlesque dancer that loves rich men. LMAO. Made me watch an entire Bluey after sex. What? I made a joke while we were scrolling through Disney Plus and he wasn't playing. This man watches Bluey? Okay. Anyway, went on a rant about how we need to stop canceling artists so he doesn't have to feel bad about listening to Marilyn Manson.
Yuck.
This man is trash. His post-breakup flex on Instagram was mid-photos of him with the caption, hey Siri, play My Way by Limp Bizkit.
Okay, well, I don't love that song.
I know, but
that's insane.
Like photos of him. Hey, I don't know, dude. Get it together. Okay, and then finally, that's it.
That's it.
Okay. Wow.
Okay, the tooting in the kitchen thing is such a like. Also, I'm so uncomfortable with that, so I would personally never do that intentionally. But the double standards of it all. So many weird things about that. So 3 months too long.
Yeah. But also it's like, you have a really nice butt. I don't want to think about what it does. It's not her butt that does it. It's her asshole that does it, first of all. And it's human. It's part of being somebody that's human.
Go date a real doll. They don't toot at all.
Yeah, and they don't talk. And they'll probably watch all the Bluey you want.
They love Bluey. Big fans of your captions.
Ew.
Yeah, I don't think you want a woman. I think you want an inanimate object.
That's right.
Should we dub Dee?
Yeah, let's dub Dee. Carly says, okay, hi girlies. I love you both so much and your podcast has truly helped me through some hard times. Now let's get into the story of my ex, or shall I say, the devil. My ex broke up with me in December and got a new girlfriend 3 months later after telling me he needed to work on himself and his mental health. We were still texting throughout the breakup from time to time, and he would tell me he still loved me. But then I found out he was with this other girl. Please help because I want to rip his head off and still find myself getting sad over it. Love you.
I mean, that bums me out for you, first of all, because it is hard. And I mean, I think that the like fourth stage of grieving is rip his head off. So that's okay. That's totally normal. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's nothing worse than when someone pulls back and says they need to work on themselves and then they find themselves in a relationship immediately. But I think it's a very particular type of person that does that. And that is no one that you want to be investing in long term.
It's a man that does that.
It's a man. I didn't want to say, because again, people think we hate men. We don't, but it's just facts. Men do that. And those men are usually emotionally stunted and they look for someone who's either younger or more emotionally mature, or you know what I mean? They're just on some goofy shit. It has nothing to do with you. And I'm sorry you went through that, but he did you a favor in the long run. Focus on your rage and help you heal. You don't want that person.
And never ignore those clear signs of somebody, because this is the thing, they'll say whatever the fuck. It's what they do that you really need to pay attention to, because you were probably somebody that they understood was out of their league, that had more going on for herself, that had more to offer. Your worth was too high and he was so beneath you that he needed to go find somebody who would put up with his bullshit, because he knew that you wouldn't. So it's a compliment to you, actually.
It sure is. Allie says, hi, Katie and Dana. My name is Allie and I'm a day one listener. Your podcast has become a favorite part of my Wednesdays, teaching me about female empowerment while also adding some girth to my life. I'm writing for some advice from you badass women. I'm in my mid-30s and successful in my career, even making some history in typically male-dominated field. I am confident when it comes to anything work-related, but my romantic relationships are a mess. I grew up watching my mom take care of my sick dad, and I seem to have brought that over into my own dating life, picking men who need to be taken care of emotionally, physically, and financially. It has not only drained my bank account, but left me feeling unhappy and unfulfilled. I know that I struggle with setting boundaries and standing up for myself, which has led me to stay in unhealthy relationships for way longer than the expiration date, like years longer in some cases. My question for you ladies: how do I step into my female power in my personal relationships and become more comfortable speaking my mind without fear of how it negatively may impact someone else? And what suggestions do you have to help with building self-love? Thank you for being so open and honest on your podcast. I know it's helping other women, including myself.
Dang. Okay. Well, I feel that in order to be in like your most powerful self, you don't give a fuck how it affects other people. It's not about other people, because what you're doing is setting boundaries. You're creating standards and you're adhering to them. It's not about other people. So I think being the most powerful, and it's not like you're a bitch. Well, you can be a bitch if you want, but I think it's truly about not giving a fuck what other people think about the things that you're doing for yourself.
Also, I'm very impressed by you that you have been successful in a male-dominated field. That's super difficult. I've been in a male-dominated field my entire career, and I'm telling you right now, if you can do that, you can really do anything. And the first step also is recognizing a pattern. So you now know you've picked a particular type of person and you've been able to connect it to your childhood and why that is. So it's about now the next step is breaking that pattern and picking differently, because no matter how many times you've made the wrong decision, you always have the option to change it and then choose the right choice. So you're not stuck in this forever. And as Katie said, you really need to give less of a fuck about like what's good for you is good for you. And that's what you need to prioritize, as opposed to someone's feelings or worried about how they might interpret it. It's not your job to figure that out. And also, I'm sure that a lot of the people that are latching onto you for emotional, physical, and financial support would not do the same for you. So please put yourself first. And
I think also, oh, sorry.
Well, and then I was just gonna say, building self-love, again, something that's challenging and does take time. But again, recognizing that maybe that's lacking for you and contributing to the partners that you're choosing, also a good step.
Yeah. So I think, like we talked about before, like affirmations, like really writing down or pointing at the things that you really love about yourself and saying it in a mirror out loud, like it's really powerful. So I think when you are recognizing those things and reminding yourself of those things and being, gratitude and all of those practices, that'll help you feel more in your power and recognizing your worth too. I think it all kind of goes together. Anyway, okay. Anonymous says, my boyfriend and I have been together for 4 years. Our friends have mentioned to me that my boyfriend might have gay tendencies. I've had a conversation with him that if he does have those tendencies, it's okay. He always shuts down the conversation and says he doesn't. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do in this situation. In my opinion, I think he just has dad issues because his dad never shows affection or says he loves him.
I mean, I think that can be a tricky thing to navigate, because whether he does or doesn't, if he does, it's possible he's lying to himself or he is being honest with you. I was dating a guy who I helped be honest with himself about that I don't want to put a label on it for him, but he seemed, based on the conversations that we had and how I was kind of supporting him through that he was bisexual. And I do think one of the only things that men have a harder time with societally than women is being openly bisexual. And it's possible that also someone can be gay and just in denial, but like it's also possible that they're just on the spectrum of sexuality. Like it's very gray. It doesn't have to be black or white. So I think that sounds like you're doing the right things as far as being supportive in terms of having the conversation and letting him know it's a safe space. But and it's also not anyone else's job to like dig that out of them. So if it's not something that he's wanting to talk about or says that he doesn't have, then until he changes that statement, it's either you can decide to stay in a relationship with him if you believe him or not. But it's just, unfortunately, this has to happen on his timeline when he's ready.
And he may never be. And so I think, and if he has issues with his dad, it's probably he's, wanting to bottle up or bury some emotions because he feels like he won't be accepted. And that's like really deep trauma wounds that take a long time and someone has to be really willing to address them. So I think, trying to be there for him. I mean, I don't know what these people are pointing out as like the tendencies, because that's also like kind of an unfair judgment assessment of a person just to say like, yeah, they just seem a little gay. It's like, well, unless like they've made very specific comments or you've seen specific behavior, like just to say that someone like has gay tendencies, well, what does that even mean? So I don't know. I would try not to listen to the opinions of other people. Listen to him. Just be supportive. And if it's not something that you can, it's going to be like a issue in the relationship because you feel like he's not, then probably not the person either for you.
Agreed. Gianna says, first off, huge fan. So basically me and my best friend went out to the bars and met these two friends and I hit it off with one of them. We end up bar hopping together and the guy and me are flirting and everything is going well and he ends up kissing me at the bar. He and his friend drive us home and we're really flirting heavily, kissing, talking the whole nine. He's pulling with my hair and kissing me on the forehead, like jokingly introducing me as his girlfriend. We get home and he texts me and I text back in the morning. It's been a couple of days and no response yet. Is this a lost cause or should I be bold and double text to initiate hanging out? Help, please.
I mean, I say do what you want to do because when people are like, don't send that text, don't do that. Just do whatever the fuck you want to do. But truly, if he's not getting back to you and he's leaving you on red or what can be presumed to be red, I wouldn't bother with it. It's so I was talking with a friend about this the other day because she met someone and they hit it off and he was like, oh my gosh, I want to take you to dinner, like named a specific place, asked about specific days were the following week. And then she just never heard back from him. Like he texted her the next morning, said good morning. She texted him back and then like literal days went by. And it's like, well, I don't know what happens inside these people's heads and why they just like fall off the map like that. But like, if you want to send a text just to be like, hey, how you doing? But except that it's probably going to go unresponded. But just sometimes you have to know that you at least tried. You reached out, you made an effort, as minimal as it is.
I think in this scenario, you don't have anything to lose because it was a one-time interaction and it's not like you've had history with them and you don't want to push them away or whatever. But I very much am in the camp when it comes to men specifically. If they want to talk to you, they will. So I personally am not double texting. Like I'm putting out the effort. If they don't want to reciprocate it, then it's just probably not someone for me. So I think that this is pretty low stakes. And if you feel like you will not be able to move on unless you double text, but you also have to be very prepared for rejection of a double text of it feels so shitty when you double text and you don't hear anything. So that is a risk, but I say do what you want. I unfortunately though believe he's probably blowing you off and I'm sorry about that. It sucks. They like kiss your forehead and tickle your back all night and they're like, this is casual.
Especially when it's a night that's like usually filled by like alcohol and like people are kind of like out of their like sorts usually. But yeah, I mean, you have nothing to lose. So send the text, don't send the text, whatever is going to make you sleep at night. Sometimes I got to just be a little stupid and do the damn thing. And then I'm like, well, you know what? I tried. He didn't. Goodbye.
Stupid bitch you is always accepting applicants.
It's true.
Anyway, keep writing, guys. We're obsessed. disrespectfullypod@gmail.com. We love your stories.
Questions, stories, comments, concerns.
Send it all.
Send it all.
Please give us 5 stars on Apple.
Yeah, subscribe, follow.
Give us reviews.
Tune in. Yeah, tell all your friends.
We appreciate to your friends. We love it.
Okay. Anyways.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
Babe, you're going to see the power of women. Like,
disrespectfully.